Welcome back, everyone, to Wealthy Mentor Trading. Today is February the 13th, 2022. Today, I'm going to be discussing three stocks that are ready to boom on earnings that are starting up next week. I'm also going to be taking a look at the S&P 500, which is what you see right on your screen. I'm going to take a look at targets to the upside and to the downside and where I see it going and what my thoughts are on the market overall. All right, with that being said, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you are interested in trading with us on Discord, we do have a trading group called Wealthy Mentor Trading, and we do have a promo right now for 2 months for 99 bucks. So if you are interested into that, we do have options trading, day trading, swing trading, watch lists, and everything that pretty much I discussed today is part of the group plan as well. So the link is in the description for that, and be sure to check us out. That being said, we do have the S&P 500 chart open, guys, and it's pretty self-explanatory, right? I wanted to hold above this 44.50 line right here, drawn out, right? Our first attempt to create this trend change was that 45.50 area. We got above that, got rejected at 4,600, and I was not bearish because we were still holding that 44.50 line. This week started up, we were trending around $4,500, which was neutral for me. Again, we tried to test that $4,600 line, and once more, got a rejection at that point. And again, failed to hold 45.50 to, start that trend change. We did see a lot of weakness on Friday, pushing the market down below that area where I wanted to see us hold, and that was 44.50. I did say that if we did not hold that, I would become a bear, and at this point, I am bearish on the market. We did have a large sell-off starting from the semiconductor sector being down 5+%, following through with the tech sector, QQQ, also respectively with 3+%. Now going into this week, pretty much if we don't hold $4,400, I am looking at these areas right here that I've drawn out at that $4,300 area all the way down to $4,200. We did see buyers step in around 43.30 to 4,300. So if we can't hold that $4,400 area, pretty much we're going to go down to test these support lines. And this time we're going to see if the buyers do step in and hold that area. And if they don't, as I mentioned, we could have a push all the way down to 42.60 and 42.35 being key support zones. Overall, as I said, I am bearish on the markets. I did want to hold that 44.50 line right here, and unfortunately we broke that, right? And some clues leading into the next day or to the next week also led me to feel bearish. We did not see any bounce whatsoever, no strength on the market close, right? So, and we also do have the Fed speaking next week. So that is one of those areas where I think, many traders and investors are on the sidelines waiting to see what the word is, especially with the inflation being so damn high. So right now the market is in a standstill. If we do see some great volatility and a push to the upside, I do want to see us stay above that $4,500 area, and preferably to create that trend change, stay above 45.50, as we've been rejected twice at $4,600 and pretty much just drop straight down to 44.50. So breaking that level on Friday, to me, it was a red flag. So let's just see how it opens up tomorrow. And if we cannot hold that $4,400 line, guys, be prepared to get those puts out if you're options trading, right? Okay. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I do have three stocks that are ready to boom on earnings. And the first one I want to discuss is Nvidia, NVDA, right? And they do report earnings on Wednesday. So Nvidia recently called off the $40 billion deal to purchase ARM, which is a chipset design specialist owned by SoftBank, partly due to regulatory changes. So, from a technical standpoint, just what I do right here, I am going to switch over here to the 4-hour time frame to give you guys my targets going into this earnings and what I see it going, right? Overall, we were in a downtrend ever since that $346 top. This year has been pretty much not very good, right? Not very good for the semiconductor sector. This was one of the leading names last year, and this year, nothing but downfall. Recently, we dropped down to that 218, 209 area before we start seeing a bounce. We were rejected at that 260 and 270 area, and to me, that was key. That 270, I wanted to see that break to create that trend change. As you guys can see here, right, the trend was still going higher, stopping us right here. We held support at 270, moved up to 314, came back down to test 270, bounced right back above it. So, and that area was key for me to get above that, and it didn't happen. So to me, I am still bearish on Nvidia, and going into earnings, I do have that 230 line drawn out right here. If we cannot hold this support zone for Nvidia approaching earning, I do see earnings miss going down to that 218 to 209 area where we did see some support here. Now, if we cannot hold that, 195, 188, and 178 are my three bearish targets to the downside. Now, overall, on an earnings beat, I definitely do want to see that 270 target area right here break. As I mentioned, we could not break it last week, and due to the semiconductor sector being down 5+% on Friday alone, Nvidia got the worst of it, along with AMD, of course. So on an earnings beat, I do want to see it break above 270. I do have targets drawn out here at 286 on an earnings beat, right? That would get us above this green line and the ability to change that trend from bearish to bullish, right? So that 270 is very important to me. Now, as I mentioned, 230 support is just around the corner. Not much of a strong close, as I mentioned right here, red candlesticks all the way. So we are approaching that 230 area. Below that, especially on an earnings beat being on an earnings bomb on a Wednesday, we could pretty much trend around that 230 area, consolidating around there, and then on an earnings bomb, drop down to that 218, 209 area, and pretty much see if buyers hold on to that. And if they can't, as I mentioned, 195, 188, and 178 are key support zones on Nvidia moving forward. All right. The next name that is ready to boom on earnings, it is S-H-O-P, Shopify. And here we are on the 4-hour time frame. And much like Nvidia, this name has been on a downtrend, right? It has retraced 40% year to date, which has, caused analysts to come out and trim their price targets. However, analysts are showing that we are going to be moving higher, just based on Shopify's Q4 results, with results of growth earlier in the quarter, offsetting the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and the December spending. So overall, analysts are pricing in on an earnings beat. So what I'm seeing right here is that we have been in a downtrend. We broke below that 1191 area where it was an area for me to hold. I started being a bear when it couldn't break that, and we did trend lower, right? The bottoms here was that 780 to 842 area where pretty much buyers did step in. We did consolidate around that area before trying to test the higher levels up at $1,005 before we received the rejection. So to me, on an earnings beat, I am definitely looking above that, that 927 to 965. If we can get above that, we could pretty much test 1005 to 1025 on an earnings beat. That is my call for earnings on a beat. Now, to the downside, if we cannot hold 842, we could potentially come down to retest these lows at 780 on an earnings bomb. And I also do have a lower target at 708 if we do trend lower, right? So options traders are expecting around 15+% move. We are also oversold on the weekly RSI, so that should give us some momentum because the larger time frames are being beaten up. So we're definitely going to see a bounce, and earnings is the best catalyst to see that bounce get started underway, especially on the large time frame being the weekly. So I do expect that 780 to 842 area to hold. Now we can wick down there momentarily, but on an earnings beat, I definitely want to see us retest these areas at 105, 1,005 to 1,025. All right, guys. So that is a 19% move from the area that we closed off on Friday, which is 854, and I'm expecting it to hit 1025 on an earnings beat. All right. Next name that also has been beaten up, but has shown some promise, right? And that is Roku, ROKU. Here we are on the 4-hour time frame again. As you guys can see from these charts, they all look very bearish. And I'm going to give you my opinion on Roku. You know, we have been trending lower. Obviously, as you guys can see, we did hit that bottom of 139 before we're getting a nice little bounce. To me, we have been rejected at that 178 area a few times here. So that is the major elephant in the room. I do want to see that break on an earnings beat. Now, if we do beat earnings, I do see us heading over here to the green lines that I've drawn out at that 196.208 area, which is the bottom of these support areas, right? Previous support on these drop downs now turns to resistance. So above 178 on an earnings beat, I am looking for 196 to 208 as my target area to take profit at. Now, some optimism with Roku could be with regards to Disney, which did report earnings last week, and they did hit on their earnings beat, right, due to their subscription growth, which could be a positive catalyst and indicator of where Roku might head. Also, we are oversold on many of the larger time frames. We are down in the basement there, so anything with some sort of substance on an earnings beat could definitely catapult Roku to test these areas of 196 and 208. Now, if we do get a really bullish earnings beat and it's a blown out of the water type deal, definitely look at 222 to 241 as we did consolidate under this on the downtrend. So first things first, I want to get above that 178 area. And if we do trend lower, we do have that support zone at that 139 as your key support for Roku moving forward, right? They are reporting on earnings on Thursday. All right, guys, those are 3 stocks that I wanted to discuss that are ready to boom on earnings. Roku, look over that 178 area. Shopify, on an earnings beat, I'm looking at a 19% move with targets of $1,005 to $1,025. It is a 19% move. I am bullish on them. They have been down 40% and also oversold on the weekly RSI, which is a pretty big factor. Also, another name, Nvidia, big drop down from the semiconductor sector. I am looking above that 270 area to create that trend change, and also on an earnings beat, catapult above that to hit that 286 zone. 209, 218 is a major support zone, so look for buyers to step in around that area. And as I mentioned, the S&P 500, I do want to get above that $4,500 line, but I am bearish on the markets, guys. If we cannot hold that $4,400 area, we are pretty much going to test those $4,300 support zones where buyers stepped in last time. Look to see if they step in again. If not, we could be heading lower down to that 4,200 area for support. Thanks so much for joining, guys. Be sure to check us out at Wealthy Mentor Trading on Discord. The link is in the description. You get 2 months for 99 bucks. It is a promo, and that will be ending soon, right? So take advantage of that, and good luck trading. Thank you so much. See you next week.